Another round of knockout stage football comes to a close, and once again the Asian Cup has ticked all the boxes when it comes to delivering the very best that Asian football has to offer. With plenty of big names and one or two surprise packages still left in the even higher. And the teams still left fighting for glory did not disappoint, producing some of the most memorable games the Asian Cup has ever seen. So let's not waste any more time and get Tournament debutant Tajikistan booked from behind in a 5-goal thriller against Iraq to book their place in the next round in emphatic style and with one of the standout displays of the knockout stages. The two teams met in the Ahmed bin Ali Stadium to kick off the Asian Cup quarter-finals. It was a tight affair from start to finish, with both teams struggling to create all too many clear-cut chances or find a breakthrough in the first 45 minutes of play. With nothing to separate the two sides at the break, the second half was always going to be a balancing act for both teams. But it was Jordan who were prepared to risk more in the attacking third, and their efforts were rewarded in the 66th minute as a well-taken Jordan corner was helped into the back of the net by Tajikistan defender Vedat Hananov. It was the goal that sealed the deal for Jordan come the final whistle, sending them through to the semi-finals for the first time in the country's history. Australia put together their best performance of the tournament during their impressive 4-0 victory against Indonesia in the round of 16 and came into the quarter-finals full of confidence and belief. Waiting for them there were Korea Republic, who pulled off an incredible comeback against Saudi Arabia, which saw them score an injury-time equalizer and go on to win on penalties to book their place in the next round. With two title contenders going head-to-head in the Al Janoub Stadium tournament has ever witnessed. Australia had to soak up the early pressure as Klinsmann's side looked the more dangerous in the opening stages, but towards the end of the first half, the Socceroos then found some rhythm of their own. 5 minutes before the break, Craig Goodwin was found at the back post by Atkinson, and his measured volley went flying into the back of the net to give his side a 1-0 lead at the interval. Australia had opportunities to double their lead in the second half, but couldn't take their chances, allowing Korea Republic to come back strong in the dying stages. The pressure proved too much for the Socceroos as Son Heung-min was brought down in the box, giving Hwang Hee-chan the privilege of levelling the score in stoppage time, sending the game into another 30 minutes of play, during which Son Heung-min scored one of the goals of the tournament with a well-placed free kick, securing victory for the Taeguk Warriors to cap off one of the most dramatic endings to a quarter-final in the tournament's history. After an incredibly convincing group stage, Iran faced their toughest test in the last 16 stage of the competition against Syria, going down to 10 men with the score level after 90 minutes and holding on in extra time to then win on penalties in the end. Their quarter-final opponents were the Samurai Blue from Japan, who cruised past Bahrain in their last 16 encounter with a 3-1 victory and a commanding display throughout the game. Iran were not going to make it easy for them when the two teams It was an entertaining match right from the get-go as both teams went at their opponents without fear and looking to score an early goal. But it wasn't until the 28th minute when Morita bulldozed his way through the middle of the Iranian defense and edged the ball past the keeper to give Japan a 1-goal lead at the break. Iran came out for the second half determined to get themselves back into the game and were rewarded for their hard work with a fantastic goal by Mohamed Mohebi at the 55th minute of play. They continued to cause Japan problems and in the final minutes of stoppage time were awarded a penalty and the chance to snatch victory right at the death. A chance that captain Alireza Jahanbakhsh was not going to turn down as he hammered the ball into the back of the net from the spot and fired Iran into the semi-finals of the 2023 Asian Cup in Qatar with one of the last kicks of the game. The hosts Qatar gave their home fans plenty to shout about, and not for the first time either, when they beat Palestine by 2-1 to book their place in the quarter-finals and keep their unbeaten record on track. But their opponents in the latest phase of the knockout stages, Uzbekistan, also came into the game without losing a single match en route to the quarter-finals, making for a mouth-watering tie in the Al-Bayt Stadium. The game was a back-and-forth battle right from kick-off, with both sides enjoying good periods, but neither able to break the deadlock. But then, with just under half an hour gone, an Al-Haydos cross was deflected into the back of the net by Uzbekistan's shot-stopper Utkir Yusupov to give Qatar a one-goal lead at half-time. However, Uzbekistan replied in the second half when Khamrobikov latched onto a loose ball and drove it hard and low to level things up in the 59th. With nothing to separate the two sides after 30 minutes of extra time, the game went to penalties, where at the end of a roller-coaster ride of a shootout with saves from both goalkeepers, Qatar came out on top to book their place in the Asian Cup semi-finals. Son Heung-min is already considered one of the very best, if not the best, to wear the Korea Republic shirt and represent his country, and his performances in this year's Asian Cup have only reinforced that belief. After being instrumental in getting his side to the quarter-finals, the 31-year-old was at the heart of their sensational comeback against Australia. The Tottenham winger led by example and urged his team forward in stoppage time, winning a penalty in the dying stages, which the Taeguk Warriors would score to take the game into extra time. After keeping his side in the game, he then scored an incredible free kick, which would also be the winning goal, single-handedly sending Korea Republic through to the semi-finals. Son Heung-min will go down as one of the best to ever grace the Asian stage, but his and Korea Republic's Asian Cup story is far from over. 8 teams are now down to just 4, with Jordan. After everything the competition has already given us, it's safe to say that the best is still to come.